Crip Mac went viral and became one of the most famous Crips of all time, but now he's facing 15 years for a gun charge and might lose it all. From getting knocked out in jail to allegedly lying about his whole history in the streets, today we're breaking down the wild story behind his downfall. Back in September 2023, Crip Mac was arrested by the cops in LA County for allegedly carrying a ghost gun. A ghost gun is basically just a strap without a serial number that's been put together from pieces of other guns or built with custom parts. A lot of them are made with 3D printers, and right now the cops are cracking down on ghost guns hard. Crip Mac already had felonies on his record, and fans knew the situation might be bad, but nobody knew it was about to happen. LA County dropped the charges in December 2023, and Crip Mac thought he was going to skate on the case. But then the U.S. Marshals came in and arrested him on federal charges. According to a defense attorney in California named Curtis Briggs, sometimes the local cops will drop a case so the feds can take it over instead. It usually happens when someone has been in and out of jail a lot and the local police are tired of dealing with it. The feds can usually put someone behind bars way longer than the state, and that means the local cops don't have to worry about it anymore. The state usually handles gun cases, but this time the feds took over, and now it's not looking good for Crip Mac. Local cops put people on cases that get thrown out all the time, but usually the feds don't pick up a case unless they're sure they can get a conviction. And what makes the whole thing even worse for Crip Mac is that the sentencing for federal gun cases is way longer than state cases. A lawyer named Michael Fredman talks about Crip Mac's case with Channel 5 and broke down how Crip Mac can get more time because of federal enhancements. Another thing that could hurt Crip Mac's case is if the prosecutors charge him as a career criminal. Before this new charge, Crip Mac had a charge for transporting an illegal substance back in 2014, a grand theft charge in 2015, an attempted robbery charge in 2017, and 2 other gun cases from 2021 and 2022. With all of that going on, Crip Mac could be facing a 15-year minimum sentence. Plus, he could get even more time added on top of all that. Crip Mac had just got out of jail a few months before he got hit with the Fed case. He served around 10 months on another gun case, but his friends and family say he was trying to turn it all around and stay out of trouble. Crip Mac's grandma told Channel 5,
"He was doing so well when he got out this time. He was doing so well. I've seen him just grow as a person so much."
One of the big reasons Crip Mac was doing better was because he linked up with a dude named China Mac. China Mac is a rapper from New York who came up repping one of the most brutal gangs in the city, the Ghost Shadows. He went to prison for 11 years for almost killing a dude in the club. In 2003, China Mac got into a beef with another rapper named MC Jin after Jin disrespected the wife of one of China Mac's homies, who was locked up at the time. They ran into each other at a club in New York, and one of Jin's associates allegedly rushed China Mac with a knife. China Mac pulled out a gun and pointed at the dude's head. When he pulled the trigger, the gun jammed, and when he tried to shoot again, he hit the dude in the back. China Mac then fled New York and went on the run, but he was arrested in Seattle while trying to flee to Canada and ended up getting sentenced to 11 years for the shooting. When he came back home, China Mac switched up how he was moving and left the streets behind. China Mac became Crip Mac's manager, and they started doing a show together called Mac Adventures. China Mac tried to keep Crip Mac out of trouble, and they even got a TV deal to make a new reality show called Mac and Mac. According to Crip Mac's family, China Mac really wanted to help Crip Mac out and take care of him, but then they started beefing and everything fell apart. It all started with people claiming that China Mac was using Crip Mac and taking all the money they were supposed to be making together. There wasn't any evidence to back the story up though, and Crip Mac and China Mac went on No Jumper, and Crip Mac said that China Mac was helping him out a lot and wasn't playing with his money.
Would China Mac a nickel make $10,000 to $15,000 a month, Come on,
But are you cool? I heard you've been through some ups and downs with China Mac recently.
Yeah, me and China Mac have, but I'm gonna let you know why, because his mother, she was going through something. She's well now. So that type of stuff brought stress on.
Oh, really?
On him. So yeah, we worked everything out. That's my brother, that's my Chinese brother.
Because he's definitely been pretty much the most consistent person in terms of managing you or working with you over the last 2 years.
He helps me with a lot. Also, him and King Five Fingers, they helped me with a lot of stuff.
It looked like everything was good, but that all changed when Crip Mac got hit with the Fed charges. After Crip Mac got locked up, China Mac jumped into action and started doing everything he could to help him out. China Mac went to Crip Mac's court dates with him and even started a petition to help Crip Mac's case. That's why everyone was shocked when the jail call from Crip Mac leaked, where he talks about China Mac being banned from the West Coast.
Oh my goddamn, cuz doing what? They doing tough guys. People are saying China Mac can't come back, 5 LA, this and that, Mr. Lovejoy, whatever.
China Mac was the one who had really been pushing Crip Mac in a better direction, but unfortunately the situation fell apart and China Mac said he wasn't going to work with Crip Mac anymore. After it all went down, China Mac did an interview with P Films and said,
when he does that, when he goes online and he talks about me, and he ridicules me, he condescendingly talks about me, it shows that he would backdoor me. It shows that he would be manipulated. It shows, now I could accept certain if he came online and called me we can get past that. But if you show me that the loyalty is not there, I would be a fool to continue to go above and beyond.
But losing homies to drama isn't the biggest issue Crip Mac has going on right now. A lot of fans are worried about him being safe in jail, because the last time he got locked up, Crip Mac allegedly got hands put on him. We'll get deeper into Crip Mac's alleged street ties in a minute, but for now, all you gotta know is that he started repping the 5-5 neighborhood Crips. The 5-5 neighborhood Crips have beef with a lot of gangs in the city, including the Hoover Criminals. The Hoovers were Crips back in the day, but there was so much beef that they ended up splitting off and becoming the Hoover Criminals. Jap 5 is a rapper who reps 107 Hoover, and Crip Mac started taking shots at him on social media.
Jack, go hood. You're another snoover, boy. Oh, hood, what can I say? See, man, I got a mental problem. On 5-5 Crip I do, and I really does destruction on neighborhood Crip. What else you gotta say, fool? Oh, hood. Just, let me know what's happening, come hood. I'll come to the Salos and burn you down. I don't give a f.
Jap clapped back and said he didn't even know who Crip Mac was. According to Jap, his old barber was a 5-5 neighborhood Crip, and he knew a lot of dudes in the set, but he never heard of Crip Mac. Jap 5 even dropped a diss track called Activated, where he sampled Crip Mac dissing him. Crip Mac and Jap 5 ended up getting put in jail at the same time, and that's when the situation got real. They met up in the yard during the fade, and Crip Mac admitted that Jap 5 definitely got the best of him.
And then that's when Cud came with just a couple vicious punches. The chin called neighborhood Crip the temple, and then Cud hit me somewhere right here. Cud, I couldn't breathe, I fell.
Crip Mac got knocked down and lost the fight, and that's allegedly not the only time he got hands put on him. Crip Mac was also beefing with a dude from the Rolling 60s Crips named Brick Baby. Crip Mac was dissing Brick Baby from jail, so Brick Baby exposed Crip Mac for allegedly getting knocked out more than once behind bars.
Well, you definitely took it to another level in terms of just saying basically you were and you got knocked out hella times in jail.
Brick Baby also said that Crip Mac lies about the fights he's had and basically never wins.
I know that my homeboy ain't all the way there. You over-exaggerated them squabbles. You got put down by everybody that you squabbled.
That's crazy.
Besides facing 15 years in prison and having to survive with a target on his back, another thing that's hurting Crip Mac's career is how he allegedly lied about his entire come-up. But before we get to what he's allegedly capping about, this is the story according to Crip Mac. Crip Mac claims that he was born and raised in LA. He said that he ended up spending some time in Texas as a teenager, but then he went back to LA and linked up with the 5-5 Crips. He allegedly got jumped in by 10 Crips and told one of the OGs he wanted to join the set to kill, destruct, and destroy. When Crip Mac went to prison in 2017, he claims that he started taking rap seriously, and even the ops were telling him how good he was. The first time he went viral was for a Cardi B diss track he dropped while he was locked up, but it took a while before he actually became famous. In 2018, one of Crip Mac's homies was allegedly killed by the Hoover Criminals, and that's why Crip Mac got Hoover Killer tatted on his head. After he came home from jail, Crip Mac started posting videos online where he repped the 5-5 Crips while playing with his pet cat. Seeing a big dude with face tats yelling about the set he bangs while feeding his cat fried chicken was wild, and that's when people really started paying attention. Crip Mac did an interview with No Jumper that made him blow up even more, and every time he was in the spotlight, Crip Mac was repping 5-5 Crips like crazy. He started racking up millions of views on YouTube, and after a couple of years, he was one of the most famous Crips of all time. But according to a YouTube channel called Swamp Stories, almost everything Crip Mac said about his past in the streets is cap. Back in 2021, Swamp Stories made a documentary about the 5-5 Crips and what the situation was like in South Central. Most of the video was them breaking down the wild history of the whole gang culture there and who the 5-5 Crips had beef with. But they also talked about Crip Mac. Crip Mac got pressed over the video because he thought it made him in the hood look bad. So he went on Cam Capone News and said,
"Cuz whoever made that, you're a snoozer. Oh, hood, you swallow nickel bars, you swallow in your mouth. You're just like Jack with that fucking tongue ring. You, what you stand by, Custer, oh, hood."
According to Swamp Stories, after their original video came out, a lot of people reached out and told him that Crip Mac was capping about his come-up. Swamp Stories thought they were just hating at first, but after Crip Mac flipped out like that, Swamp Stories dug into his background and allegedly found some pretty shocking info. Crip Mac claims he was raised in South Central, but that's cap according to Swamp Stories. Crip Mac was raised in the suburbs in Ontario, California. Ontario is a way nicer place to grow up, and it's almost an hour away from South Central. Kids who come up in South Central are surrounded by crime and violence every day, but Ontario is so chill that they actually raise cows out there, according to Crip Mac's mom. Even though Crip Mac wasn't raised in South Central, he still had a lot of issues growing up. His mom told Cam Capone News,
I mean, this kid was jumping out of the window, at 6 and 7 years of age, to go out and explore.
It got so bad that Crip Mac's mom had to start locking the windows. And finally, she decided to send Crip Mac to a military school when he was 7.
We had to lock the windows, and I'm sure he felt like incarcerated. And I know that feeling. But he definitely needed some guidance. So we put him in military school.
It was supposed to help calm him down and teach Crip Mac some discipline, but after 14 months, even the military school admitted that they couldn't handle him and kicked Crip Mac out. The first time Crip Mac went on No Jumper back in 2021, he made it sound like he spent his whole childhood around South Central and didn't move to Texas until he was a teenager. Adam 22 asked Crip Mac when he moved to Texas, and Crip Mac said,
Hold on. Oh, 2000, god damn it, 2009, 2010.
Okay.
That's a teenager. On hood.
But Crip Mac's own mom said that Crip Mac was around 7 when they moved to Texas. Crip Mac and his mom were living with his mom's boyfriend back then, but when the relationship fell apart after a few years, the two of them moved in with Crip Mac's grandma. Crip Mac's grandma lived in a suburb called Katy, Texas, but she wanted Crip Mac to go to school in Houston. So somehow, Crip Mac linked up with a dude from Houston named Fabio and had his address registered at his place. Fabio was a legit Rolling 60 Crip from Houston. Crip Mac wasn't from South Central at all, and he hadn't even been in California since he was a little kid. But when he linked up with the Rolling 60s in Houston, Crip Mac created a whole new story about his come up. He told everyone that he repped the Rolling 60s in LA and that his street name was Woodard. Crip Mac made it sound like he was certified in the streets, even though he had never gangbanged in his life. And Fabio from the Houston Rolling 60s said,
so when he came out here to us, he made it seem like he was put on. But I don't know.
He was saying he was from there. He was saying he was on the set.
He was saying he was on the set.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But before anyone in Houston found out that Crip Mac was capping about being put on the set, he spent a whole year with the Houston Rolling 60s. Then everything went left for Crip Mac when the Houston Rolling 60s asked the LA 60s about Crip Mac. The dudes in Houston found out that Crip Mac was never put on the set and that he was capping about everything he told them. According to Fabio,
we gave him an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give you an opportunity.
To get right.
To get right.
Or to get left.
To get left, cuz. And he got left. Right. He couldn't stand the pressure. It is what it is.
Crip Mac claimed that he left Texas and went straight to South Central LA, but it turns out that was cap too. Crip Mac actually moved out to another suburb called Chino, and in 2012, he started trying to make his own set out there in the middle of nowhere. He kept on posting about different sets, and in 2013, he started claiming to trade 5'7" Crips. Crip Mac ended up moving to South Central later on and actually got put on with the Rolling 60s there. It didn't last long though, and Crip Mac ended up getting kicked out of the set. According to him, he stole the wrong woman's purse and ended up getting DP'd. DP stands for discipline. And basically, you just gotta fight a bunch of dudes in the set if you do something wrong. Crip Mac said he got tired and stopped fighting, and that's why he got put off the set.
You gotta fight through that. You cannot stop fighting. If you stop fighting, that's what I did. I stopped fighting, I got put off, I got tired, yeah.
After that, Crip Mac moved to Las Vegas for around a year. Gangbanging obviously wasn't working out for him, but Crip Mac didn't stop trying. He came back to LA after a while, and that's when he linked up with the 5'5" neighborhood Crips. It seemed like everything was cool for a while, but then people found Crip Mac's old Facebook page where he was claiming different sets and even dissed the neighborhood Crips. Crip Mac got DP'd by 5'5" for the situation and told Cam Capone News,
I got started from the beginning of it. All right, so it started off as a pack out on hood, then head up fade. So then it was head up fade. One head up fade on hood. That was a good 5 rounds on hood. Second head up fade, another good 5 rounds. Then that was on hood. And it's a pack out again. Another head of fade, another head of fade, another head of fade. I put all my might in that last punch and put cut down. When I put cut down, I thought it was over with. It wasn't over with, cut, more fade, more pack out, then fade and head up fade, and then it was over with.
That wasn't the only time that Crip Mac had issues with the set though. He's allegedly been DP'd 5 times by the 5'5" Crips. but it's not clear what the other situations were all about. What makes the situation so crazy is that Crip Mac was already a full-grown man when he linked up with the 5'5 Crips. Most dudes get put on the set when they're teenagers because they grew up in the hood, but Crip Mac wanted to gangbang so bad that he spent years trying to rock with different crews. When Crip Mac first blew up, most people believed he was a legit Crip, but the bigger he got in the industry, the more he started to get exposed. In an interview with Cam Capone News, Crip Mac dissed Blueface and said that he was only pretending to be a Crip for the clout.
What is it about Blueface that you say it's not your type
I'm
of
a play ball Crip. I really do this in real life. I'm not just a famous, see what I'm saying? It's a big difference. Big difference.
But when they ran into each other in person, Crip Mac didn't keep the same energy. A lot of people lost respect for Crip Mac after that because he was talking tough on the internet but didn't back it up when they were face to face. After the truth about his come up surfaced, a lot of people started calling Crip Mac a fraud, but none of that really hurt his career online. Most of the people watching Crip Mac's content didn't care about his street ties and just thought he was a funny dude to watch, but messing with gang politics like that definitely put a target on Crip Mac. But Crip Mac isn't just a clout chaser who wanted to jump in the trenches for no reason. He's had severe mental health problems his whole life. And even his mom backed up the fact that he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
He grew into that whole tough man persona, and he created this character of C-Mac. It's just another portion of Trevor. It's just another facet of him, whether you can call it schizophrenia or any type of multi-personality thing. It's working in his favor because he's very true to it.
China Mac knows that Crip Mac isn't all there mentally and tried to help him out, but even he had to split off after Crip Mac turned his back on him. Paranoid schizophrenia is already tough to deal with, but it got even worse when Crip Mac started gangbanging. A lot of people think that's why he was carrying a gun right after he got out of jail, and now he's facing over a decade in the feds with his most recent case. Hopefully Crip Mac can get the help he needs, because otherwise he's gonna keep making headlines for all the wrong reasons and could end up getting seriously hurt.